You said pack light.
Yeah, I can see that. We're going to a city that even 1,000 years ago, they said it was a pretty city. Welcome to Antalya! So it's the end of March and we're here in Antalya in South Turkey. The weather's been a bit changeable this month, but in summertime, Antalya is one of the hottest places in Turkey with temperatures often around 40 degrees C. Over 1 million people live here and it's one of the most cosmopolitan cities in Turkey. But the prettiest area has to be the old town, which the Turks call Kale. The old town is a labyrinth of cobbled streets and lovingly restored Ottoman-style boutique hotels with chic restaurants and stylish pubs. One of the prettiest places I've seen. Sort of place photographers are always looking for. There's millions of people come here every year for their holiday. Most of the tourists stay in the all-inclusive hotels in Lara beach area, which is a few miles out of the city centre. We're going to cover those a bit later in the programme. We were just walking down one of the little back streets and we looked in a pub called the Shaker Pub. And just as we came out from the pub, we saw this, which is probably the most interesting and most historical building in Antalya, which is called Adrian's Gate. Adrian's Gate was built in 130 AD. You have to stand next to this to appreciate how big it is. What a fantastic building. To commemorate the visit of Adrian, who was the Roman emperor at the time. One thing I find really interesting about this is where the chariots have been running for 2,000 years. So at the back of me is the old wall of the old town. And in the distance you can see the fluted minaret of the Ulu Cami, which is around 700 years old.
Burası şu anda pazar ama bu bina eski üniversite, okul.
Öyle mi?
Medrese.
Medrese,
Evet,
şey,
evet.
din okulu.
Sadece din değil, şey de var.
Tabii normal matematik falan her şey.
650 yıl yaklaşık.
Wow, this is a madrasa, which is like the old schools from the mosque, but they don't just learn religion; they learn everything, mathematics and But now it's a market, little market.
Seni benziyor ya.
Evet.
Vallahi benziyor. close to the Ulu Mosque is the Cumhuriyet Meydanı, or the Republican Square.
Aslanım benim.
So down there is the old harbour that everyone knows in Antalya. And it's quite difficult to get down there because there's so many steps, but there is a glass lift and it's free. And down here on the old harbour, it's renowned for the fish restaurants. This is Mustafa, he speaks better English than me. You find a few quirky things as well.
Hey, Mum. It's such a pretty harbour.
And there's lots of little coffee bars and restaurants like this. It doesn't matter where you go, when you're a cameraman, you always come across somebody with a grinder.
And don't forget to go to the toy museum.
Which is near the bottom of the glass lift. And everybody loves the clip with the pink panther, don't they? I was really surprised to come into the toy museum and find so many lovely characters, and I know the kids will love it. And there's old toys here from all over the world, Japan, Germany, America, so it's well worth a visit, and it's free to get in. There are two tramway systems here. There's the old tramway system and the newer tramway system, which goes straight through the centre of the city, and it's connected to the airport. So if you arrive here, you can travel straight into the centre of the city from the airport. I'm very close to the old town here. So we thought it would be a good idea to go on the old tram. What we didn't realise is that you have to register your HES code and your ticket number on the Antalya transport app, which took about 20 minutes.
Do you know, I never thought getting on a tram could be so complicated.
No, normally. Oh, where are we going?
I have no idea. Do you know this is the first time I've ever been on a tram?
You're joking. Oh, well, that was a nice little journey, wasn't it? Eh?
My first time on a tram! How exciting!
Luckily, we got off the tram at a place we wanted to visit. So this is Ataturk's house museum, Ataturk, the father of the Turks. And he stayed here on the 6th of March in 1930. And it's free to get in. To think he probably sat at that table. There's a few pictures of Ataturk when he visited here, and I've never seen these pictures before. It's quite interesting that this is where Ataturk actually slept. But apparently the bed, they borrowed it from somewhere else. If there was one guy I'd like to have dinner with, it would be Ataturk. In fact, there are so many interesting things to see in the old town that we stayed there for 5 days. And one bar in particular caught my eye. So this is definitely my favourite pub here. Amca ne haber? Merhabalar. İyisiniz?
İyi sağ ol. Siz de iyisiniz.
Kolay gelsin. There's a lot of birds here because of the lush vegetation. And if you're lucky, you might even see the parakeets flying about. Antalya is surrounded by mountains, waterfalls, ancient ruins, fruit orchards and banana plantations. There is water everywhere, rivers and streams, and one dramatic waterfall is not far from the city centre.
This is incredible because it looks just like an infinity pool, but over the other side is something spectacular.
There are two Duden falls, both on the same river. This is the lower falls, but the upper falls, which is a 20-minute drive up the river, are equally impressive. It's only 5 lira each, 10 lira for the two of us. Teşekkürler. And don't forget to go round the back of the waterfall. There are several very important archaeological sites here too, including Perge, Aspendos and Termessos. And all the valuable antiquities that they found in those ancient ruins are housed here in the fantastic Antalya Museum. So this is one of the statues that come from Perge. Just look at that. There's so many amazing things here. That has to be the absolute masterpiece. Wow, look at that. And there's almost as many artifacts outside as well.
Looks like you in the morning.
Oh, thank you very much. Not far outside the city is the Forest Adventure Park. Park Fantastic. well worth a fiver, isn't it, for two people? Oh, come on, yeah.
I want to go again.
No, no, no,
Oh,
come
come
and get
on,
out.
please.
No. And of course, the boat trips are quite popular too. So this is the main public beach. This is Konya Alta, which is on the west side of the city, and on the other side is Lara Beach, where all the posh hotels are. Close to the Konya Alta beach is the massive aquarium building, which is more than one attraction. The aquarium is great fun for kids, but it's not cheap, and it's best to book your tickets online, and I'm not going to spoil your fun by showing you all the fish and everything that's in there now. I'll be covering this in a future video. There are millions who come to this region every year for their holidays. Most of the tourists stay at the all-inclusive hotels in the Lara Beach area. Lara is a sought-after residential area, it has been for years, but this area of the beach is just these big hotels.
Sana bir söz yazdım bu gece, öncekilerden farklı. Yıldızlar yanımda oturmuş, dolunaydan meraklı. Hadi bir gel ne olursun benimle, dinle sana bu şarkı. Herkes.
So this is the end of March, and as you can see, the weather is still lovely. You get some great deals at all-inclusive resorts such as this one all through the winter.
Hadi bir gel ne olursun benimle, dinle sana bu şarkıyı. Herkes bilsin artık sana olan aşkımı. Seviyorum, seviyorum. Seni çok seviyorum. Bitsin buralara kar yağdı, şarkılarım sana kök saldı. Gel de çiçekler yollarım artık. Hikayem senle başladı, aşkımız sinemalarda, mutlulukta.
Teşekkür ediyorum.
Gitsin buralara kar yağdı, şarkılarım sana kök saldı. Gel de çiçekler yollarım artık. Hikayem senle başladı, aşkımız sinemalarda, mutluluktan ağlayalım artık. Sana bir söz yazdım bu gece, öncekilerden farklı. Yıldızlar yanımda oturmuş, dolunaydan meraklı. Hadi bir gel ne olursun benimle, dinle sana bu şarkı. Herkes bilsin artık sana olan aşkımı. Seviyorum, seviyorum. Seni çok seviyorum. Gitsin buralara kar yağdı, şarkılarım sana kök saldı. Gel de çiçekler yollarım artık. Hikayem senle başladı, aşkımız sinemalarda, mutluluktan ağlayalım artık. Mutluluktan ağlayalım artık. Mutluluktan ağlayalım artık.
So one thing we've noticed in the dining room is because of the regulations, you can't actually go up and help yourself at the buffet food in these all-inclusive hotels. So the staff are serving you, which causes a long queue in every station, doesn't it?
Well, particularly during peak times.
Yeah. So we've tended to go in for our meals right at the end of meal time, and still you don't quite get what you want, and by the time you have got it, your food is a bit cold.
I think if you're used to all-inclusive holidays, it's fair to say that if you come when there's restrictions in place, then it could feel different to what you're used to.
Yeah, different to what you're used to. Yeah. If you're a keen golfer, there's another resort very similar to Lara, only a few miles away from here, called Belek, which has also become the international golf centre for Turkey. And it's lush green with several beautiful golf courses. In a cave not far from Antalya, they found the skull of a Neanderthal man. So we're at the cave, and I said to the guy, how many steps is it? And he said, over 400. I'm showing my age, I've only done a few of the steps. Oh, it's a nice view though. Wow, that's a big cave. I wonder how many people lived here. Wow. Sounds like there's a few bats in here. They found the skull of a Neanderthal in this cave, which is 150,000 years old or more. Well, it's not the most interesting cave I've ever been to, but I suppose the history attached to it makes it one of the most important. So that's it for this film.
Don't forget to like,
Subscribe.
and hit the notification bell so you don't miss where we go next.
Thanks for watching.